Hello, I'm having a play day with myself because I have some new toys. I finally decided to purchase some Magello Mission Gold paints. I've been seeing people use them, I've liked the effect, and I've decided that now was the time. I got this selection of 36 colors, and I've swatched them, and I am particularly interested in the fact that they have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 shades of green, a few shades of orange, which I don't often use, but when I do, I want to have a little bit of a selection. I'm not too tickled with the fact that there's only one violet here, but I see no reason not to be able to mix my ultramarine with any of these shades of red. And look at all of these delish neutrals: raw umber, burnt sienna, light red, red brown, burnt umber, Van Dyke brown, and sepia. So today I'm going to be playing with colors, whichever colors strike me. This is going to be totally unthought about, unmulled over, but I have to admit I want to use some greens, maybe a few of these reddish areas, maybe a little bit of yellow, who knows. But I'm going to set these up here. And I've taken a piece of my, whoopsie daisy. I've taken a piece of my Canson XL 140-pound cold press, and as you can see, I have attached it to a piece of dollar store foam core with some of my artist tape, and off we go. Let's see how much of this you're able to see. I think I might have to come back just a little bit. Right there. Good. So, when in doubt, plunge. Just a light spray of my paper. And I think that I'm going to try the very palest yellow that I can manage up here. Let's see what happens. Well, this paper is doing some buckling, but that's all right because it will help the some of these pigments to move a little bit. Now I'm going to try some of these greens. I'm going to go from a light and bring it through a bit to a darker shade. That's about the extent of my plan here. This is the greenish yellow. And as you notice, I'm using a square brush, a Princeton Velvet Touch 1/2 inch, a wash brush. Now let me have a little bit of, I think I'll do a little bit of olive. Isn't that one a nice olive? It's a little yellowy, but that's okay. Live and learn. Maybe I'll try a little sap green while I'm at it. One, two, three, four, five. A little bit of hookers. Now this is a little bit much, so I'm going to lighten it up, mix it in with the colors on the palette. Just a little bit more. And then I want to see what this Van Dyke green is. Oh my. Very, very interesting color. I'll put some up here in the lighter areas just because I can. Now, yes, this paper has buckled, but not too badly. So I'm going to apply some heat. Well, this is nice and dry and completely flat, since I did let it dry with the air as a final hit, because I know that if it's helped along and left alone, it will absolutely go back to where it belongs. Now, I'm feeling an urge for some roses, and I've got my Princeton Select 3/4 inch flat wash. Why? I don't know, but this is what I seem to feel like accomplishing today. And one more down here. This is just the undercoat. And a third, smaller one. Now let the fun begin. Let's have a little more of that. It's wonderful the way these large brushes do lay down the color. And now I'm thinking a silver black velvet number 8 round, because I want to add some more color here while we still have some water working. And just a bit more. I'm liking these watercolors. They have a lot of color, a lot of pigment in them, which is making me quite happy here. Get rid of some of these potential lines. Now I'm thinking just a little bit of touch of yellow here and there. Oh yes, that's permanent yellow deep. Maybe some here and there in the flower itself. Now, as you can see, that's quite a wet puddle. And so I'm going to let this rest a bit. And see about putting on some of that Van Dyke green. Let's get some up here. Some up in here. Maybe a little bit over here. Let's have some of this. Come down. This Pentel is just a wonderful. I'm really loving that brush. And I found out about it thanks to Cece of Cece's Creations. Now I'm going to let this take its time to dry sufficiently. Need to make sure that these stems are just a little bit more fitting for the size of the flower. Let's see what we have in the flowers. Oh, a lot of movement of water and pigment. Wonderful. Nature taking its course, so to speak. And now, oh, and I cleaned up my watercolors on this piece of watercolor paper, which is something that escaped me beforehand, but why not now? I'm going to be using my Prismacolors Apple Green. This requires Vert Franc True Green. No, I don't think so. I'm thinking Vert Prié or Grass Green. And a rather dark one. Well, we'll see. We'll see as we go. Alrighty. A nice sharp pencil. And let's see what we can do. I want to try mixing some penciling with my watercolors. And thanks again to Cece for implanting this wonderful idea. And as you'll notice, I'm just holding this pencil quite far back. I'm following some of the marks left by the watercolors. I'm not at all sure whether this is a tree or a bush. Or green flowers. But I'm certainly enjoying picking out, or beginning to pick out, some of these shapes. I had done this before using a pen, but this is, Cece is completely correct. This is more fun. After I get some idea of this darker grass green down, then I'm going to really go back and speak to these areas again. Be careful to keep not choking that pencil. This is just permitting you to find things that are there or aren't there, or right, now let's see what happens when I add a little bit of apple green. Well, this is absolutely more fun than it certainly takes an active imagination, and I have no idea on this earth what this is down here. Maybe bushes, maybe large leaves. I don't know. Maybe these are going to get leaves after they dry. I don't know again. I wonder how many times I can say, I don't know. And I'm just thinking I don't know is wonderful, because sometimes I have a real serious personality trait that requires overthinking. And so I don't know is quite delightful. Now I'm thinking that some of these areas need to be even darker. Wonder about olive green. Let's see about olive green up here. Yes, I like that little bit of stronger contrast. I'm going to continue to work in the green area, and I'll return when it's time to play in the flowers. Well, here I am back working on these flowers and learning as I go. I am not going to spend as much time as on this pencil work, because My natural inclination would be to do this for hours, but I have a real desire to do more and more of this, so I'm permitting myself the luxury of just, I'm going to stop this whenever I think the piece suits me. I'm not looking necessarily for a finished piece today. Now we need some. I've taken out a whole slew of colors, and here again I'm kind of playing by ear. I'm going to use this dark magenta down here. To pick out the edges of this watercolor blossom. There are times when having a watercolor blossom is just wonderful. This is one of them. I'm noticing some very fine ripples. Some very fine ripples of color. That's the way the water dried. I'm just picking them out. And that needs some burnishing of yellowed orange. Let me see if I can't get a little bit closer. Yes. These Prismas do add depth to these Mission Gold watercolors. I know that this much fine-tuning, as I call it, is not everyone's cup of tea, but it is certainly mine. And I'm enjoying this tremendously. Let's see if I can't, whoops, let's see if I can't do something with these petal edges. This is Process Red. darkness back there because after all this is behind. You can feel the waxy color as it goes down on this Canson watercolor paper on top of the watercolors that are already there. Something darker needs to be here. I think right along the bottom over here. This is going to be quite a learning curve. This one has so much to say for itself that it's just wonderful. Get back to some of that. Let's get back to some of that pink. Now, I did say that I wasn't going to overdo, and I feel it. I just feel it happening. So, just the slightest pressure does put pigment down. Oh goodness. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do with the bottom. Maybe I'm just going to declare it a learning experience and say unfinished piece to be worked on at my leisure. just some more tendrils might be enough. Let's see. Let's see. Let's add a bit more. It's really wonderful the way this brush does this. Some of the coloration from this flower slid right down this stem, so I'm going over that now. I do believe that I have learned a bit about my new colors. They are very, very full of pigment. I'm quite happy with them. I have enjoyed playing with my Prismas, and we'll certainly be getting back to this. Let me find a pen. If you have enjoyed watching my new toys being experimented with today, I do hope that you will give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with a friend, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Bye now.